Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to have a look at The Pale Beyond. What is The Pale Beyond? The Pale Beyond is a 2D choices matter resource management game, while we are on a apparently kind of polar exploration. The setup, from just having read the Steam description, having a look at the trailer and the screenshots, is that apparently we are part of an expedition to the icy area. And this game also said that this is inspired by polar exploration, so that's why I got that from. Is our captain is missing, and now it's on us to do the hard choices, to survive, to push on. And we are required to make some hard choices in an apparently very beautiful game. So a somewhat different, more honest, more serious setting than usual. You can kind of hopefully hear this with this very quiet but also somewhat present and slow piano music in the background. So with this, we are going to have a look at this demo at the day of this recording. When you hopefully see this game is pretty much about to be released. And frankly, the screenshots looked very good. I'm always a huge fan of resource management games, choices matter games. I love that. This is a very interesting setting that I don't have too much experience with. But also the trailer and the screenshots had some high quality going on. So I have quite some high expectations here. I like the title menu, actually. Also for a demo, it's always fair to have like wishlist on Steam, Twitter, Discord, YouTube. I find that fair. And also considering that this is more of like a 2D game, I'm actually surprised by the settings menu that also has quite a bit of options, like even like zooming speed, panning speed of the gameplay, accessibility, text size. That's nice to have. Achievements, apparently, sure. I don't care about achievements, but too many people do, in my opinion, so that's nice to have. Also, data management. You actually can delete your saves here, which in nowadays is kind of uncommon, but I like this, especially in this game where you might want to have different saves to see your different outcomes, right? But now, without further ado, hi, welcome here on JustDaZack, where I show you almost every day, hopefully interesting video games to you. So let's actually hit new game and have a look at the Pale Beyond demo. Oh, the air is cold. Oh, I can click this. Nice. Okay, I'm hooked already. Nice setup. Oh, the air bees cold, of flake and white, as a sailor begs their pledge. To the ice they pray that leads reveal. Out in the ice they stake a claim, that in the dark they brace themselves. Flake and white, a sailor begs their pledge. I have no idea. Or the air bees cold, of flake and white, as a sailor begs the pledge. That in the dark they brace themselves. That in the dark they brace themselves, for horror still ahead. Of homes they dream, of warmth long lost, and chased to frost world's edge. A hunger draws the desperate here. Its calling soars to spread. What will ye do when steel hearts break and courage thus abscond? Abscond? Sorry, I actually don't know this term. I'll lead these souls, so help the gods. I'll do what must be done indeed. I'll learn to live a life out here. I'll lead these souls, so help the gods, out of the pale beyond. Are we playing? Oh, is this already a setup? Like, okay, look at this. Paranes. Is that our ship or so? Maybe. We are already, from the very get-go, the missing captain, or the ghost of the missing captain, that influences our leftover companions to maybe guide them and help them. But that's just me already spinning some tales here and trying to understand and find the secret of this game, just having read the introduction. Let's begin our journey, shall we? Temperance? couldn't read the name in time. That sounds me. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Month of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. Glory to be had in the event of success. Address overleaf. Signed someone. All right, that's us. Nice. Ooh, this is very nice art. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand has long since gone cold. I mean, I really one day want to have a good setup so that you guys can see my setup, and I would like to do these first impressions videos with like camera and very good, audio visual equipment. But today's not the day, so I can't show you my 2 cups that I have here. And 2 cups on my workplace is actually a very low number for me. Sometimes I have up to 6 cups here. I might have a problem, but we can talk about this another day. What I'm saying is, right now I have 2 very big cups, one with tea and one with coffee. So I am kind of a coffee addict, but I'm not sure if I prefer this to tea. This is kind of a hard question already. Let's just say, the tea has long since gone cold. I'm actually fine. I have a very vulnerable tongue, so same with food. I'm totally fine if things are just medium warm or even cold, because I'm kind of scared of hot things. Because man, I've burned myself too many times in life, and I keep doing this. Yeah, it's perfectly adequate to have cold tea. It's perfectly adequate. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a chip in a bottle. A metronome ticks away steadily. I find it rather calming. The dedicated rhythm soothes the senses. The room is sweltering, the air stiff and stale. Keep waiting. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. I'll take a seat. The chair is uncomfortable large. The seat feels worn. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you, to the other side of the desk. The captain. Oh no! I thought that was my desk. I should have stood up. I thought that was my desk. Or maybe I was playing the captain. Oh, that is already not nice of us. We are impolite. Do I have all of your teeth? Open mouth. You bare your teeth to the man. Oh, that's our application. Good. You can never be too careful. The captain sits down. Oh man, we should have stood up. We're so impolite. It's the little things you can lose people to. You're late. Oh no, you never do this. Yeah, well, sometimes. But you have to be very confident. This is, doing an application, especially in these older times. Let's be careful with this. Speaking from experience, I've not had scurvy before. If that's what you're asking. There's more things to worry about than just scurvy. How many people have died under your supervision? Frankly, more than I'd care to admit. Can you remember their faces? Every single one. I see. You've already made yourself comfortable. I'm sorry. I thought that was my desk. That sounds even more weird doing this application thing where I'm in your office, but... sorry. Dots. 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 I like this. I'm Captain Hunt. The pleasure is mine. Robin Shaw. He nods. I mean, yeah, should be, right? Because shouldn't we know each other at least? I mean, he should know because application. He nods. Let's actually wait for him to continue. I hope you weren't waiting too long. Actually, I'm told it's worth the wait. Dots. Good. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. The Edward said there was glory to it. It all seems a bit convoluted for a sailing job. Let's keep listening. Month of darkness. Low wages. Slim chance of return. That didn't deter you, did it? I mean, frankly, it's to be expected, surely. I thought it blunt, but it's proven remarkable at weeding out the weak and the pretend. I have a few questions first. He looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or a sea duck? Oh, okay, we can actually... There we go, some RPG mechanics. Nice, we can have actually some influence on our character. I'm sorry, landborn. I'm from the city, southborn. The ocean, the same as yourself, mixed. If I knew, I'd tell you I've been all over. I mean, I feel like we are kind of like a runabout, you know. We've come around, we've traveled a bit. So that's why we took this job. So mix, yeah. If I knew, I'd tell you. I've been all over. We're a mudwash. Yeah, a mudwash. Plenty of those joining. Myself included. Oh, he winked at us. Nice. Military experience? Only waiting them. Merchant. Sailed the merchant lines, 12 years. No, I feel sure. Royal Admiralty. We're colonial. 2 tours. And Mudwash from the Navy? I guess I'm not that special these days. Under what circumstances did you leave? Desertion. So, you're not a blind fool. Good. Have you ever fired a weapon? Yes. Have you ever killed a man? Directly or otherwise? Yes. I see. You're not married, are you? No, of course not. You better not have a death wish. One must believe their return to justify leaving in the first place. Any less, and you're doing yourself a disservice. We're here to find the ship in that bottle. The Viscount. Heard of it? No. Enlighten me. He clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition toward the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. Viscount. Strange name for a ship. They can't all be named for dukes and princes. Viscount wasn't always hereditary. Was an earned title, once. Admirals certainly love their metaphors. Almost as much as their medals. The music is so eerie, I'm literally just kind of scared. Is this gonna be like a Cthulhu kind of like game? I wonder. Hunt. No offense. Anyway, the point is she never came back. The last known location was 200 miles south of land, presumed lost to the ice. 5 years is a bit late for a rescue operation. They're probably dead. This is beginning to sound like a suicide mission, and we're supposed to be chasing this ship. I mean, is this really a surprise? Well, you know, sometimes you have to state the kind of obvious, right? This is beginning to sound like a suicide mission. The research is supposedly of extreme importance. And we're supposed to be chasing that research? Exactly. Let him continue. Here's what we know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it first left port. So we're chasing ghosts then? Maybe it's a myth. Maybe it isn't. I can assure you the money is real. Those with more money than sense want those with more money than sense want that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will, and well, my judge of characters got me this far. We're the first mate. Got it. What of our crew? Quite the mix. A work in progress. Some I've known for years. They get in on trust and experience. Others, well, they interview. Any impressed by you? That remains to be seen. We do have transport, though. We'll be traveling on board the Temperance. Oh, that was the name. Oh, foreshadowing. She's a beauty. Greenwood, generational. Not many like it left these days. The Viscount and the Temperance. They're sister ships. Built together. Sent out into this world to die alone. You seem to love metaphor yourself. Indeed. Perhaps that makes me a hypocrite. But I like to think one calls out for the other. The captain looks at the bottled ship. So what do you think? I mean, frankly, it's not that much to go on. No, it isn't. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We leave in a month. I clicked. Please, continue. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Proverbially speaking. Frankly, you're not what I expected. And what did you expect? We're more than our mistakes, Robin. Let people surprise you. I'll see you on the Temperance. The captain wakes his way to the door, and you follow. All right. 1 month later. Oh, what is going on now? You arrive at the docks a month to the day. Oh, this looks good. I would love to play this as a CRPG game, but that is something else, I guess, for a different day. Before you lies a ship, the letters on the side spelling Temperance. Okay. Approach the Temperance. You walk the cubby to the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man, overseeing the loading of a cargo. Can we click on this guy? No. Speak to the man. He turns to you with a sterner expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. Colonial. A military gate. You must be Hans' pick for first mate. I figured he'd keep it in the ranks. Good man. He extends an arm. Richard Templeton, a pleasure. Sure. You accept his offer of a handshake. It's a considered shake. I shall be operating as the chief science officer on this expedition. I'm also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. All right, what did you specialize in? Applied botany. Huh. Oh, well, Mr. Templeton, I look forward to working together. I expect you to be up for the task. Some of the layabouts hired are questionable at best. No doubt I needn't inform you of your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself. Though I must warn you that you have quite the task ahead. The rebel I've spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule, strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. Week 12 degree, week 0 morning. Oh. I expect you to be the organized sort. You would not have been assigned to the role otherwise. I likely have more in common with the crew than I do yourself, Mr. Templeton. I've more than enough experience with the crew of this nature. Yep, I've got experience. Yep. First impression, so on. That is comforting to hear. I would seem for most of the crew the captain favored personal history over expertise. It is good to know he found the capable sort for such a vital role. Let me know when you're ready to depart. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. The city. Okay, a young man. Let's talk to a young man. A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. Huh. Did he do something? Maybe he's scared. What about the city? You will be gone for quite a while. It will be some time before you see the city again. Okay, the Temperance. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate. I really like the art style. Man, this is very well done, very detailed. Man, this is fine. But I as someone who loves RPGs and CRPGs that much, please, we need this artist team, maybe even the developers, with this writing style. Because so far, I'm hooked. I want this as a CRPG team-based game. Baldur's Gate. Oh, I didn't read that text. That's on me. I accidentally clicked. Okay, set sail. Oh, it changed here as well. Just for this tiny instance, they made the ship change. Nice. Cool. And also, guys, the music, I hope you hear it right now. Oh, there we go. So far, it really has been just a little bit in the back, well, quite a bit in the background. Okay, we're setting sail to adventure. Nothing bad is going to happen. This is going to be a journey of friendship. A journey to behold, because together we will find love. We might have some adversaries. We might have some obstacles. But you know, it's about the friends we make along the journey. Okay, can we continue now? Kind of tried to talk over the loading screen, but I click. I like the music. Okay, yeah. I'm ready to move on. Adventure! I like the music. I'm actually tapping out right now. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, the music stopped. Does that mean the loading is over? More music. It changed. Oh, there we go, finally. The Pale Beyond. Oh, look how detailed this is. Wow. Some shadow. It's been a month. A hunger draws the desperate here. Its calling sows desperate. What will you do when steel hearts break and courage does absent? I'll lead these souls to help the gods out of the Pale Beyond. First made sure, personal luck. It's been 1 month since I signed on, and 1 week since we set sail about the Temperance. I'm told the water will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere, before they turn colder. Oh, there's the space missing. The Temperance. Let's talk about the ship and the crew. The Admiralty had nothing like this. She's magnificent. A technical marvel. Elegant machinery, expertly weaved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day. Reborn for this mission, breathing again with life. She's simply magnificent. As for its master, he's mostly kept to his quarters so far. The captain seems a trustworthy sort. Okay. Yep. Oh. Experience alone justifies his position. There aren't many who make out the other end of naval military service with all their limbs, let alone his vigor. I can't shake the feeling that he's not telling the whole truth, though. But I do find myself warming to the man. As for the rest of the crew, there are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice, to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledging dogs. The crew are a strange lot, eclectic as the ship itself. Okay, we could also ask this, but let's sign off for now. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Joe, Captain wants you at the helm. Good, I want to see him. He leaves. So, week 1. At the morning, it's 3 degrees. Crow's Nest, forecastle, join Hunt at the helm, Captain's cabins. Let's have a look at the Crow's Nest, because why not? The Crow's Nest currently stands unoccupied. The scouted team are expected to join at the next port. Okay, let's go to the captain. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin. Lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. It's days like these I make sure to do my share of the sailing. He winks. Let him continue. He thinks for a moment, before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Colonial. Did you ever take the helm in the Admiralty? Never felt right not to, for me. Here, why don't you have a try? Sure. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. Use right-click to pan around? What? Oh. Yeah, interesting. The memory in your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Interesting. Okay, not important right now, but maybe for later. Easy. There, you have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Oh, we can zoom. Nice. Considering how detailed this is cool. Peaceful, isn't it? Panning and zooming speeds can be adjusted in the settings menu. Nice. It takes the wheel back from you. I think I'll drink the morning in a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Yeah, sure. Oh, nice. I can actually go painting, a desk, tub. Let's have a look at the painting. A classical painting depicting sailors doing battle with a kraken. Mudwash. An ode to an old folk story, known to all Captain Seamers. Or was it Hamish? Oh, interesting. Like, even with the descriptions, our background has an influence. I like that. Oh, is this also foreshadowing? Are we going to fight a kraken? Or maybe something even worse? Take requests, sure. You take a seat at the end of the room. The captain joins you. What's that? 4 out of 23. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls signed onto this expedition, ourselves included. So, earlier we meant 22, but I guess that was just the crew or something, and not the captain or something like that. 423. That's 16 free to be assigned to tasks, if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. You're only able to deploy crew with the symbol who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. Oh no. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at next port. The lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. Nice moral. The expedition will tear itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. We've enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. Crew members will start to develop scurvy and be unable to work should you end the week with no food left in the hooshpot. Oh, great. And more than enough fuel to see us there and back again. You will all freeze to death if you end the week with no fuel in the furnace. I like how just this description got darker and darker. You know, people won't be too happy. People might get sick. People will freeze to death. The sledding dogs, well, they are still a matter of negotiation. Oh, we can have dogs. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. Now, on to work. Corvette Cordell. Oh. Take requests. Nice music. Ding, 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 ding. Sorry, that's me. I like the detail. There's the Kraken. Let's talk to Cordell. Have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, Sure. This is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with a kennel of hounds for these lads. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island, but you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my whole kennel. It's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before was a buyer being so dishonest. And never before has a seller made such strong demands. Yeah, Lady Cordell, and what exactly are these demands? You already sold the dogs, did you not? You have no control over them now. That's kind of antagonistic. What exactly are these demands? Oh, sorry. Some mouse sounds there in the background. Sorry for that. She demands we allow her to come along on the expedition as a member of the crew. None on this ship have the experience and familiarity with these docks that I possess. If you're taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board are too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, Sean. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? I don't see the harm in having an export. We should cancel the deal. Yeah, screw yourself now. If you're adamant, we accept you. I mean, frankly, I don't see the harm in having an expert on the sled docks. That's a good point, Sean. He turns to her. This deal is already to your benefit. Do we have anyone on board with extensive training in the management and ruling of docks? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the docks efficiently enough to haul them. And I would like to ensure my docks are treated properly. Welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Invaluable. I'll have a room prepared for you below deck. Max crew increased to 24. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle with the docks. She leaves. I hope I'm not making a mistake, Sean. Plus 14 available docks. Nice. Oh, Corvette. Yeah, Corvette. Let's not make a obvious bad joke there. A sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring them in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. Oh, is that the one from the beginning? You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. The captain studies them further. You know where we are heading, don't you? I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside that crate? I did, sir. Ha! How old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true. I can pull my weight, sir. Dots. Do you know your jibboon from your bowsprit? I do. I learned it all from my dad. Your dad? His ward son followed him on board back in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? Well, sure. Hunt eyes you up. Your first mate. What should we do with him? I'd keep them on board. Hunt squints. Why? You need all the help you can get. This young man wants to help. Sorry, the game might be way too loud, but on the other hand, I mean, we have some cool music going on, right? It's actually... I'm gonna turn down the music, sorry, because I think, at least according to my visuals here, the music might be a bit too loud. Oh god, also I'm hitting my desk here. It might now be a bit too quiet, actually, so let's go with this. I hope it's fine for you guys. As always, please give me feedback on my presentation in general of this game, of course. My reading skills here. I didn't expect that I needed to read that much, frankly. I was prepared for a little bit, but not that much. Also, as always, all the feedback on audio design on my videos, or, well, let's just call it audio design, is always hugely appreciated. He's clearly here because his father is. It would be wrong to separate them again. We don't have the time to accommodate this if the boy wants to. I mean, we need all the help we can get, right? Dots. Alright, boy. Consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean and follow orders. I will. Thank you, sir. Captain. Not sir. Aye, Captain. The stowaway joins the two sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. Well, it seems the litter has a new runt. I hope the rest won't mind sharing with the rations. I mean, it's gonna be a problem with food, but I mean, I feel like some people are gonna die anyway, right? Oh man. What of the father? Simple, split their pay and their rations. Any rations the boy takes should come from him. Yes, I doubt he intended for this to happen. We'll keep an eye on both. What of the father? Let's make them share for now. Yes, that works. Maybe we'll make a sailor of him by the end of this. If he survives. Well, that matter's sorted. Finish requests. Okay. Some more insight on how we have to deal a lot of requests in the future. No, that's all settled. I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers or order them to meet me up deck after dinner? Hefty lads, red hair. You couldn't mistake them for another. I mean, shouldn't we already know them? I don't know. I forgot how long we spent on the ship already. Do you require me for this meeting? No, no. This isn't a matter the first officer need to concern themselves with. Ooh, secrets. They'll be down on the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Fair. Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Cashar Belfort, balanced on the ship mast with a camera lining up a photo. Okay, seems like right now we are going to have a look at all the different crew members before they will all be doomed. And I guess let's skip ahead until our ship sails further into the ice. See you guys in a second. Oh, that's our crew manifest. So some extra things. Sailors, scouts, engineers, scientists, specialists, resource cards. Oh, resource cards. All right. Key items. Camera, that's Kesha, our photographer. I just met her. Kesha's camera integral to her report in the crew manifest. Accordion. Grimley's accordion, a weathered instrument tuned with care. Specialist. Well, the captain. Good that we have him throughout the entire game, right? Richard Templeton, Kesha, Robin Shaw. That's us. Hey. Somehow our photo doesn't quite work. Scientists, interesting, 3 engineers, 2 scouts, sailors. Joseph Joe Gran, Timmy Runt Ward, Killian Smurf Sanders, and Emilia Corvette Sparrow. Fair enough, ice is savvy. So they all have different stats, interesting. Oh, he's salt-born. Cool. Right, so I advanced to the second week. We can already choose between the food rations and the fuel rations. Sorry, rations, both of them. How much will be spent? Like half, none, normal, double? I mean, I have no idea. All of these things have quite an influence, apparently. I mean, I feel like, as right now, nothing is happening, right? So we should just go with normal. But good thing that the game already sets us up to what is to come. Confirm rations. -20, -50 on just normal food. Oh no. -20 fuel, -50 food. The ship makes its last port at Whale Tail Island. Cordell's sledding dogs are picked up. The scouting crew and Kurt Darling are picked up. The days are getting brighter as you move further south. Start the next week. -4 degrees. Let's go to the pale ice. Let's start with some plus points. You can actually pet all the dogs. Well, 3 of all these dogs, but you can pet the dog. You rub its belly. You pat its head. You rub its chin. Nice. Okay, we know already that if anything needs to survive on board of the ship, it's all the doggies. As long as best as possible. These doggies need to be protected above everything else. And now we have to find our captain, because we hit some ice. Look at us being completely stuck here. I really love these visuals. Very well done. Also the sound design when you just go down the stairs into a door and so on. That really adds to the scenery overall. Sure, nobody knows that we're out here. Our captain is actually drunk on whiskey and we're stuck on the ice. We actually had to find him here drunk and in the bathtub. That doesn't leave this room. No. Wouldn't want to upset your employer. Our benefactor. We all want to be paid after this, don't we? Enough. If you weren't fit to lead this expedition, you should not have agreed to it. You shouldn't be... None of us should be here. Old Kurt paid handsomely to join. You're just a boat and a sent to keep an eye on me. Our doctor? Ha! And then there's me. What of you? Had lost himself, his head dropping low. Templeton opens the door. The captain needs rest. We'll discuss this once he's out of sound mind. Let him speak, Templeton. I wish to know more. That's all right, Robin. Speak to Hunt. Go on now, Shaw. I'll be all right here. Well, that took a turn. Our captain is maybe not up for the task after all. Let's talk to Templeton. Captain Hunt needs to sleep. It would appear the pressures of command have greatly affected him. You should find some rest for yourself. The crew have their commands. Clear your head, and we will continue on the morn. Well, looks like we want to go to sleep. We are kind of running out of food. We had some cards, and that is probably what the game is striving to form. So we have crew cards that we have to assemble for the different tasks. We have these resource cards, which the game so far had essentially like tutorials showed you, like for our burner. For the coal, we had a sack of coals that we had to use on that. And for the food as well, where we can add some food resource cards in the mix, like 10 cans, and so on. So this is gonna be interesting going forward, isn't it? Looks like we don't need to go to our cabin, but just move on to week number 4, 1 month after we started all of this. So I also noticed, at least once, but overall, the game sometimes... Oh, -15 available crew. You awake to a room washed with green. Sometimes the game has some loading issues, like small ones, like in the scenes transitions, mostly notable. That takes a surprisingly, suspiciously long time, but which is kind of awkward. Not a deal breaker, but certainly noticeable that sometimes in these different... Like what here, you awake to a room washed with green. When I now click, sometimes in these transitions, just on these small ones, it takes quite a few seconds, like 5, 6, 7, up to 10 seconds, just for these speech bubbles to move on. This only happens occasionally, but it happened multiple times so far, and it's always kind of like a, wait, did the game just crash? Is it me? Did I miss a click or something? Which is kind of breaking the overall flow. Also, I noticed some of these text bubbles actually to repeat themselves, like, there's a lot banging on your door, and a familiar voice peeks from behind the wood. Then I did something else, and then the very same speech bubble appeared. That happened at least 2, maybe even 3 times so far. Certainly not a deal breaker, nothing bad, but certainly noticeable. Ascend above deck. Shaw, are you in there? Shaw! Hammond, what's going on? Where's everything green? Never mind the green. The boiler's in serious trouble. Pumps need manned, and we need to stop the whole system overheating. And I don't need to tell you, if the furnace goes, we go. Yeah, lead the way then. We don't have a moment to spare. Right, let's move. We need to find the captain, now. Okay, let's go. Is this where everything is going to change? Speak to Casher. Don't have time! Let's go above deck. The lights of the aurora flicker over the pale ice. Oh, we totally are stuck. To the captain's cabin. Speak to... Oh, where's the captain? Templeton! What's going on? Nothing. Visibly perturbed, he takes a moment to compose himself. Even the tap is empty. Why would you expect him to be in the tap? Well, that's a long story, man. Not important. This doesn't make sense. The man seemed barely fit to crawl himself into bed earlier. What? Dots. Hammond turns to you. All right, Shaw. Captain's missing. You're in charge. I'll try my best. Your best. Yes, indeed. The crew are no doubt waking at this moment. They're no doubt scared, confused, they are. It's your duty to keep them calm, to maintain order. Hammond glares at Templeton. It's Shaw's job to get down to the boiler room, now. We've already wasted enough time looking for the bastard Hunt. If you storm down to that room, you'll be doing is inciting a panic. We need to calm... Sorry, I don't know why I can't read anymore. We need to calm the fears of the crew, maintain an air of focus. Lie to them as the ship goes down? Not at all. Instead, to assure them we know how to remedy this matter. You do know how to remedy this matter, Mr. Hammond? And we need to be quick. I don't have time to worry about some stupid sailor's feelings. We've got a bloody ship to save. Well, it's as you said. Officer Shaw is in charge. The decision is yours. Templeton is right. We need to focus on calming the crews. Hammond is right. We can't waste any more time. The boiler won't wait for us. Yeah, let's go to the... I'm trusting my engineer. Let's go to the boiler. Fine. I will keep the crew at bay then. Thanks. Mon, don't worry about him. Let's go. Why does he need me, though? He's the engineer. I can give him man, but I'm the first mate. I'm not an engineer. Let's go. Okay, down. As more of the crew notice you and Hammer descending below, the whispers begin. -15 decorum. Soon the crew pick up the pace, walking directionless with hurried footsteps. Don't have time to speak to Kurt. Kurt approaches. Boiler trouble, I take it? I'll lend a hand. Not when you're working with that cane, you're not. I have enough strength to go tell the crew to hit the lower decks, as many as possible. Let's go, Sean. Time to save this blasted ship. Alright, let's go. You descend the ladder. Ahead you see the brothers trying to open the door to the hold. Let's go. Sean there. Trying to get in? Same. Door stuck. Pull harder, you bastards. We need to get in there. Can you help us? The metal door unsticks, grimly locks to you before darting off into the dark. Where's that bloody idiot running off to? To sound the alarm. Bloody hells! Let's get moving. Man, there we go. We took the panic. Let's hope we can at least save the ship. We enter the boiler room. As you enter, Hammond's engineering team are hard at work. The larger of the two engineers lose grip over their valve as steam begins to shoot out, causing Hammond to dash forward. Yeah, watch it! Hammond tackles the engineer to the ground, saving him from a nasty steam burn. Made it just in time. What's the word, Chief? Keep those valves pumping. We need to avoid the water hammer, or we won't be making it off the ship. Sure! The rest of the crew aren't here. Grab a valve and start turning. Yeah, turn there. You grab a valve and begin turning, trying all you can keep the water at bay. Pump! You feel the edge in your muscles as you continue to push the valve, keeping the pressures at bay. The furnace rumbles and sputters, hemorrhaging fuel. That's what I meant. This was a kind of long and awkward pause there. You keep turning, doing the best you can to keep the pressure at bay. And again, wasn't this thing? That is literally what I meant earlier. It's kind of weird, like long pause and the same thing happened. What? That's confusing. It could be at this for hours. Shit, where's the rest of the crew? Who knows? Maybe this is kind of Lovecraftian, and maybe there's also like we experienced this and we have a blackout because the Lovecraftian monster are taking over. Maybe this is intentional. I don't know. If it is, okay. If it isn't, that's super weird. Shit, where's the rest of the crew? That's what I had. Again, I click, nothing happens. The people assemble apparently, but still awkward pause. I can't click faster. Everyone's coming in. +5 available crew. Brought help. We know his name. Why does he say accordion player? Oh no. -30 fuel. The furnace rumbles and sputters. Get me coal and turn those valves. Feed the furnace valve. Coal. Feed. I don't have resource cards. Let's go back to the coal bunker. Get some coal. In the heat of the moment, you muster the strength to lift 2 whole sacks of buckets. Oh, I'm strong. Let's go back to the boiler room. Go to the furnace. Sack of coal in there. 2 of them. Bring it in. Confirm your orders. Turn this valve. I don't have any resource cards for the valve. What am I supposed? Scouts? Sailors? People? People. Okay, John, go. Take this valve. They grab the valve. Good job. Same here. Valve. Tashi. John. He's done. Doc. Someone strong. You are one-armed. Gnomes. Sure. You. Take this valve. Go. They grab the valve. With enough hands working on the boiler, you begin to fight back the potential water hammer. Someone's going to have to hold the furnace in place. Furnace. Oh god. For this we need someone strong, don't we? Gun savvy. He's rope savvy, gun smoker. Vern, sure, you sound like someone good. Go. Tashi approaches the furnace. The room shakes. Water hammer! Steam burnt. A jet of steam paints Sheridan. Oh no. It subsides as they writhe in agony. You keep up the work, shifting the valves until the boiler is fully calmed. The ship is saved. You won't be sinking today. As the crew give assistance to the wounded Sheridan, you feel your muscle tense. You fall back, collapsing from exhaustion. As you lie back, all you can hear are a pair of panicked voices. Oh man. Okay guys, I know stuff happened, but how about everyone eats a little bit less? Can't even afford that, like, 20 minus 20, sure. No one is going to eat anything, sorry. But fuel is going fine, so confirm. Minus 20 fuel, minus 20 decorum. The Temperance is saved from sinking. The Aurora passes, leaving only the bright light and white. Oh, something else, but I missed that apparently. Alright, again, loading screen. There was a lot of things plopping up there for a second. Sorry, week 4. 1 week at Temperance Camp. Plus 9 available crew. You are alone in the captain's cabin. Out across deck can be heard the commotion of the crew. Word has spread quickly that Captain Hunt is missing. Templeton slips in through the door. Sure. Still no sign of Hunt? I'm afraid not. Missing. Rufus Hunt is missing. Hunt is still missing, and he isn't alone in that regard. Oh man. Oh no, he took his... Okay. That's all his people, right? Sanders, Sparrow, and Gren are also unaccounted for. That's all people who've worked with him before, right? As is a sizable food and fuel supply, and one of the largest lifeboats. Ah, sure. You and I are not naive. It seems quite clear what has happened here. Well, how's the rest of the crew? They're confused, scared. The former captain is no longer with us. You understand what that means, sure. Well, that would be Captain Shaw now, I take it. Not quite yet. A new captain must be selected by the crew. As first mate, you have the most clear argument to take that role. Well, and how do I argue for that role? Your presence in the face of Hunt's absence is an argument in itself. They will hold the vote as soon as possible. The carpenter, grimly, he's still loyal to Hunt, and many of the sailors will follow his vote, if not all. Though I can assure you have the vote of myself and my scientists. Kurt and his crew are like to support you as well. I'm unsure where the engineers will side. They're likely loyal to their pay. Well, I kind of helped them yesterday. Sheridan is still recovering from their steam burns, which may end up working to our favor. And the civilians are a mystery. But I believe, when all is said and done, you will just about make the vote. Well, you have clearly given this a lot of thought. Of course, it is vital to remain aware of the crew's intention. They're waiting outside, Shaw. Well, let's go. They're scared. They don't know where to turn. You and I both understand the importance of maintaining decorum. Though times seem dire, remember, there's a rescue ship on the way. Even if the Temperance falls, we still have a potential escape. 35 weeks. The ship will arrive at Viscount Island in 35 weeks. We should focus on surviving that long. That is all we need to do, Captain. I understand. We can hold out for that long. Indeed, that is all we need. 35 weeks, Captain. Keep it in mind. Here, you should have this. Templeton presents you with a fancy-looking hat. Hunt's hat. He left it behind in his cabin. That tells us what we need, doesn't it? Well, let's take the hat. The commotion outside grows. I choose to willfully observe reality. I suggest you do the same, Captain. The scientist refrains for a moment. What is it? I think it's best we declare that the captain and the missing crew are dead. There's no need for us to complicate things any further. You know, like you said, I'm the captain now. I will decide. We understand each other then. Wonderful. The crew are waiting for you on the deck. Well, let's see how we handle this. 35 weeks it is. I can like all these pointers. Okay. The top. Let's have a look at the top. Maybe there's some whiskey. The last place you saw Captain Hunt. There's still drops of whiskey. Frozen. Nice. Let's go. Address the crew. The hushed voices become more distinct as you make your way back into the open air. You notice the absence of Sheridan. The crew members notice you and stop. Their tension ripples across the deck. Attention! It should be clear by now that Captain Hunt is no longer serving his post. As such, we should vote in the new captain. I nominate Officer Shaw for the role, the clear choice as first mate. And what of Hunt? I do not see him among us, do you? Don't see a body either. He's still out there. We don't know what happened. Something we can discuss. Something we can discover. For now, someone has to take the reins of command. All in favor of Officer Shaw? Starting the voting process. Vote for the next captain. Van Sheridan! He abstains. He's burned. For enough. Loyal to you, the scientist, and this guy, sure. That's the JustDaZack guy for us, nice. Our friend Kurt and his crew for us, nice. Is that the scouts? Loyal to Hunt, the sailor crew, fair enough. Grimly Stoke, also loyal to Hunt, fair. The engineers abstain, loyal to Hammond, okay. That's her, also abstains. And Casher for us. Well, that's close, but I mean, I can't understand it, given the circumstance. Kind of tough choice to be made. So, Captain, you have been confirmed as the captain of the expedition. Well, the ayes have it. Shaw shall be acting captain from this point forward. Acting in Captain Hunt's stead. The crowd looked to you expectantly, as Templeton gives you a knowing nod. A moment passes in the cold as they await your next words. Curious murmuring is scattering between the crowd. To those who don't know me, I'm Robin Shaw. As I look to you, it's not long before the obvious question spills from a crew member's mouth. Where's Captain Hunt? Oh man, this is a tough choice. I mean, this is the most honest choice, right? It is unclear at the moment, but it's also the less precise. And this we need to be strong right now, right? So many question marks, and if we give an imprecise answer, people will be more confused. If we say he's dead, that is a lie, which could be a problem later on. But this would at least be a clear thing right now why we should move on forward. Let's be honest, Captain Hunt abandoned us. If that is wrong and he turns back later, that could also be an issue, but I guess an imprecise answer would be the worst right now. Captain Hunt abandoned us. Wins 5 loyalty from him, fair enough. You notice Templeton's eyes widen. Whispers begin to roll through the crowd. If anyone knows anything, come forward. A silence hangs in the air. Does anybody take issue with me taking the charge? A morbid silence hangs. Nobody speaks up in protest. Good. The less infighting we have to deal with, the better our chances of survival. The crowd began to bubble up once more, with more and more questions coming to the surface. Members of the crew start speaking out one by one, with questions thrown your way in quick succession. How are we supposed to survive out here? Is help coming? What about our pay? Will we still be paid? Our immediate priority is to wait out until either we are freed from Pike or help arrives. It's to find additional food. Current supplies will only take us far. To prepare ourselves for land navigation. This ship is an unreliable place to remain. Is it to find additional food? Current supplies will only take us as far trapped in the ice. I know this isn't what we signed up for. God knows this isn't what we signed up for. Ask for reports. I would like the head of each station to report to me going forward. You know where to find me. If anyone would like a word, you know where to find me. What of those lost, Captain? A memorial service will be held once we ship is freed from the ice. A memorial service will be held once we make land. Understood. Well, you heard the captain. Get to it. The crowd dissipates, returning to their roles aboard the ship. You pass Templeton. I thought we had an understanding. I won't lie to them. If we can't be honest with each other, what chance do we have? I hope you're right. I hope so too. Saved game to tree. Load saved tree system. Interesting. Captain's cabin. And now we would need to survive. With the resources we have, with one man down, at least not a JustDaZack one, with food being on the verge of running out. Morale is still on the uppercase. Fuel is still on the uppercase. That would be it, right? We have to do our best, Captain's cabin. Now we have to take some request with Templeton on our side. But I would say this is the Pale Beyond demo, to be more precise. And I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that I could give you a good showcase of what this game has to offer us. I have to admit, I found the overall quality very good. The writing is very engaging. The sound and audio design is subpar. This adds so much to the scenery, the music, when you go through the doors, amazing. The choices, the writing, very engaging. And of course, we just started. Management of the resources, and when we maybe have to abandon people, I see a lot of heavy choices coming up our way, which we might need to take to survive. Maybe we can't rescue them all, save them all, but hopefully we can save and rescue as many as possible and survive ourselves, and maybe even find the Temperance, was it? No, Temperance is our ship, our sister ship, and find out what truly happened out here. Maybe, most likely, there's still another secret that... let's just hope we can survive long enough to find out and discover about that secret, right? But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Again, some very, very minor... I mean, this game is insanely text-heavy, right? So if there was a space missing or a space more, so some maybe minor things with the text overall, which really isn't an issue, but I noticed that, so there we go. Again, some awkward loading issues sometimes, maybe, between the scenes and sometimes in the scenes. Like even, okay, I notice we have this text, I can't really click because step by step the scenery changes because crew members are coming in and so. Okay, but it would still be nice if I could forward this by clicking on it. So it seems like in that moment, I'm kind of takes me out of the flow when I can't click and just kind of wait and barely notice that something even happens and so. And sometimes even when we go to the crow's nest and look at the overall map, there are the different icons. It took a while to plop up. And as we saw, like from week to week in the transition, like right before the game loads in, there's just these different markers, black screen and different white markers on the outer edges, which not an issue. Not a bug, nothing game breaking, but noticeable. And given that this game really builds heavily on its atmosphere and its believability, all these very minor things that just keep reminding you that, of course, you are playing a game that has technical limitations, technical things, that always just brings you out just that tiny notch. Again, none of these things are deal-breaking at all, and I'm very nitpicky here, but it is noticeable, and it's probably also very fixable. So really not an issue, just wanted to point that out. In regards to that, I have to admit, I just thought, okay, I'm going to give this game a look. This demo itself is also way longer than I thought. I thought, hey, maybe I reached the end and everything is going downhill like within 30, 40 minutes or so. No, I'm recording it now for almost 1.5 hours. And there's still a little bit more demo going on, so I like how this game is actually building up to the anticipation. You as a player, you kind of know something is going to happen, but it teaches you in very fluent minor ways the mechanics of the game. Naturally, it makes sense in the story. It's cohesive. It makes sense. It's believable. Also introduces these different characters to you that you can talk to, be nice to them, not be nice to them. So it feels like a proper kind of choose your own RPG. Yeah, RPG. Like you can play your own captain, your own Shaw. I like this very much. I want to know more about the secret that seemingly is going on. I feel like there's certainly something about the captain. Maybe he was murdered by Templeton, or maybe someone else in general. Maybe he went out for a reason. There's story to be discovered. There's story to be told in the survival. I really hope this game is very consequential about the choices, and that all the players who play through this game have different endings, maybe, hopefully, but also different parties they end the game with. And all these, so like different stories actually to tell, which this game gives me good faith that it's going to do right that. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Again, my expectations were okay, like higher quality, but I have to admit this kind of exceeded it, and I might play this privately going on. I'm very much intrigued. So very well designed demo. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of The Pale Beyond? Are you interested in that? Link to this game is as always down in the description. What do you think of my presentation? What do you think? This game was so even more text heavier than I thought, and I expected a bit. What do you think of my presentation of the game, of course, but also like how I read? Was that understandable? Or did you maybe just skip forward to this place, hear me now and then? No, I couldn't bear that. I had to skip forward. So feel free to be honest. All the feedback, all the criticism is almost very much welcome. And also keep in mind that you have 2 homeworks. First off, stay awesome. Second off, share this game, this video, well, the game too, with a friend. Will ya? That would be nice and appreciate it. And also, we're gonna see each other right about in the next video, right? Nice. Zack out. Bye-bye.